This year's bamboo update is not so much about how the bamboo grove is growing. As you can see, it's growing strong and looks beautiful as always. What I'm going to focus on this year is containment. Some of the bamboo has escaped its border, and I want to show you how I go about fixing that and how I plan on minimizing the problem for the future. Welcome to my bamboo grove, April 2023. I think it's April 22nd today. I'm going to show you the new growth of my grove this year, like I always do. I'm starting to get some new growth, so we're going to look at that in a minute. But I'm also going to talk a little bit about containment, because some of this is starting to get out, and that's a little bit annoying to me, so I'm going to have to work on that, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to stop that. See, look at this. There's quite a few culms coming out outside the border here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's from last year. So this is what it looks like behind the grove alongside the fence. One thing that I think is happening back here is that the leaves are getting thick, and then it's kind of providing a medium for the roots to grow through. So it's going to be a little hard to do because it's cramped back here. I'm going to try to clean up some of this, some trash, of course. Nice. I'm finding kind of an extensive root system back here that has gone over and down that I've missed the past couple years. My bad. Okay, here's the first problem area. You can see here, now that I've moved to the rocks, I can see the border, which is good. So I can inspect it more easily in future years. But you can see that this came over here, but the problems get worse as we move further in. Okay, you can see how that is coming over there, and see this along the side of the border. It's going right down into the ground there. See these culms here on the other side of the border? That's not good. And you can see that one there is new, and that's on the other side. I just got to get back here with my trimmers and my spade. I got to dig out everything that's back here and trim everything off and make sure that there is nothing living behind this border. Okay, I finally got this this root system kind of dug out with a weeding tool, because I just have no room to work back here. But I got this out finally. Look at that. That's a big chunk. And that's not all of it. There's another chunk or two back there that I got to get out as well. So okay, so this is another problem area. You can see where my border is, but then you see this out here, right in the middle of my blueberry plant. See that big one in the middle? It's a blueberry, and the bamboo is coming up right in the middle of it. See? So as you can see, I'm working on getting this border uncovered today, and I have done that for the most part. Everywhere I go, I can see the border, and I can see whether or not something's growing over it or not. And obviously in most of these places, we're good now. As you can see, it's kind of a shaky video probably here because I have no room to walk back here. But as you can see this border all the way along the back now. And I can kind of see the importance of making sure I can see this thing every year, so that I can come back here and trim off anything that might happen to go over. Because once something goes over, man, it establishes quickly. I'm glad I got that out this year, noticed it, and got it out, because it would have been almost impossible by next year. Those roots, they get big and they get dense. Remove my bark dust here that I just put in. I think I'll take this border rock out here so I can see a little better. I don't think I'm going to be able to work around this blueberry, so I'm going to have to dig it out too. There's the blueberry, along with some bamboo that got intertwined. That's definitely not good for the blueberry plant. Move that guy. Oh, my poor blueberry. Dang it. Sorry, buddy. Okay, conditions are a little bit cramped here, but here's the border I'm trying to uncover. I want to see a couple inches of this thing everywhere, like I see it here. So I gotta make sure this is uncovered. I don't want to put any rocks or anything up here anymore, because I want to see this border. I had these big rocks sitting right next to the border. You saw me pick them up a minute ago, and they just kind of hid the border from me, so I didn't realize this stuff was getting over. So as you can see, this got out and a lot of this stuff got out, and there's some roots right down here beneath me. So I'm just gonna keep working on this section right here. I don't think bamboo can grow if you just have a root like this, but I wanna be sure and get it all out. Another nice plant I can give away. That one. There's just this one little piece that went over my border here and it led to all this. You know, that's a lot of bamboo just because I let one thing go over the border. So the lighting is so bad, I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is what I'm trying to show you. This little one right here is leading to all this crap here. So I'll clip this off and this entire thing comes out. See that? Look at all that. I've nearly got my border exposed. I just got to get this last big chunk out right here. This one's in there. Wow. Okay, there's my rock wall that I'm hitting. Okay, let's see if I can saw this thing off here. Okay, making some progress there. Yeah, see, this is the edge of my border right here. And so all this root has kind of come out right here. And I got my rock wall here. It goes down 3, 1, 2, and then there's another one that is down here a little bit further out. The roots are hitting that and kind of moving out this way. There's this big gap here, and so that's just an oversight on my part when I was building this thing, and it's something I'm gonna have to, you know, pay attention to every year now if I don't want this getting out, or I'm gonna have to figure out a way to, you know, put more border in there. The only thing that's really coming to mind right now is putting some rock in there, and just so it'd be easier next year to tear it out. I could just move the rock and then tear it out. Maybe some of these guys, I have a bunch of these kind of rocks that'll stack well. And that'll minimize the problem somewhat. You know, the roots will still find ways around these rocks. That one there, maybe. I want to kind of leave this open a little bit so it's easier to monitor. I put the dirt back in, I put the bark dust back in place, and now I can see the edge of my border all the way around, and I have to do the same thing on the other side. So the lesson I learned was never let it get out in the first place. I've dug out the right side now, and the same thing has happened over on the left side. So as you can see, I have this bamboo here that's not where it's supposed to be, so I'm gonna dig it out. Move this out of my way. Oh, that's heavy. See what's happening. Got that boulder out of there. I'm exposing these roots so I can work on them. Got a big clod of dirt in my eye. Oh, I just found a nice metal bolt. Yay. See, but this is where it gets hard when it's a massive roots like this. Okay, there's like a little chunk. And the spade doesn't do much good at this point because I can't dig through this stuff. So that, okay, look at that nice big chunk. I've gotten most of this out. I didn't get this one here going underneath this guy, so I think I'm gonna just kind of hack this lily back a little bit with my spade. These lilies are great for just splitting like this. There we go. So maybe I'm pulling out some of these lily roots. They look very much like the bamboo roots, honestly. So here's the irises that I dug up. I'm gonna keep them wet with the sprinkler there and give them away. Okay, so here's an angle from the backside here. All this right here is another big chunk of bamboo that got out. Now I trimmed it in past years, but we got a big healthy root system right here. Once I get rid of all this, I'm gonna leave this exposed for, you know, the coming year, or just put something light in there like bark dust, so that it'd be really easy for me to get back in here. There's a big chunk right there. Got a bunch of dirt in my face. All right. There we go. See, this is what's important. It's important is what I've learned this year. This is my biggest lesson since I've had this bamboo. This border has to be exposed. It has to be. If it's not, you're in trouble because it'll get out. And then you got to do a bunch of work. I'm honestly about ready to hack this thing with a saw. Oh, great. I just cut through my border. Not smart. Oh well. Dang it. There we go. This was deep, deep, deep in the ground. You know, they say bamboo likes to travel toward the surface, but these are not at the surface. These were deep. I used a saw to hack back the roots there and there. And I've gotten rid of all the bamboo behind. The only thing I did wrong was I cut my border, so that's kind of unfortunate. Bamboo is going to be able to push out aside now and come through there. I got the bark dust. I filled the spot back in, mostly with bark dust, so it would be easier to deal with next year if that stuff starts to spread in that location. I did put a flat rock up against that there. You can kind of see the tip of it sticking up under the brown watering hose, but it was a flat rock. I put it up against that tear in the border. That won't keep things out, but this border is completely exposed all the way around now. I also found this little beauty when I was digging around out there, this agate. I'm always looking for agates.